All right, ladies and gentlemen, please listen very carefully. Tomorrow, actually, before I even get to that, please listen very carefully. So, during third period today, I got a call from Hank's daycare. Hank puked all over a table and all over, like, at least one other kid. So, during third period, I got this phone call, and I was like, oh, shit. So, I called my husband, and #feminism. He took the remainder of his day off so I could finish the day out here. So, what that means is, if Hank can't go to school tomorrow, guess who's home? Me. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if I cannot be here, I will post the PowerPoint and you'll kind of go through and start making your own notes. Or should I? No.
Do a lecture with Hank.
Oh my God, that would be such a nightmare. He would love it though. He would love it. I will try to figure out what I can do. If Hank takes a nap tomorrow, I can do it. Or if I wake up, it just depends. I have no idea. I can tell you things are not going well for my husband at home. His only important phone call was at 1 o'clock till 2. And Hank has already woken up from his nap. So things are spiraling at home. Because I have the little camera thing and it tells me if things are going wrong. Things are going wrong. So I may not be here. Do not start the rumor it's COVID. It's not COVID. It's Hank puking on kids at daycare. And Hank does not have a fever, so he does not have COVID. I don't know. So if I'm not here tomorrow, I will have something online for you, as in you go through the lecture and start making notes without me. Or I will try to post a lecture if I absolutely can. I will. Hopefully you know that, yes? Worst case, as soon as I know, if I know tonight I'm not coming in tomorrow, I'll post an announcement on Canvas telling you I won't be in. You would just sit here and work on your focus. Hello. True, not true. And then worst case on Tuesday, in 7th period, I would do the front of the lecture. 8th period, I'd do the back of the lecture. Does that make sense? And I can record multiple videos. We can make things work. We have to be flexible. I mean, here we are. So, with that being said, I'm hoping to be here tomorrow so we can maintain our normal schedule. But if we can't, we'll make it work. So, worst case, you're going to sit here and work on your focus. If you need a book, I have books over here just so you remember. But hopefully I'm here tomorrow with you. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Because a day off from school with a Hank is not very relaxing. Anyway, friendly reminder. If I am here tomorrow, if you don't hear anything via Canvas, either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, you have a vocab quiz tomorrow on the first 10 words. Now, if you look at the first 16 and then number 17 is when they start to repeat on the vocab, do not do repeats here. Just scratch them out. Like, do the first 16, which are correct, and then it starts repeating after 16. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm sorry that I printed them, because obviously that's a waste of paper, but do not do it twice. That is dumb. And we have better things to do. So tomorrow you do have a quiz if I am here. If I am not here, I will again post this on Canvas, and we will do 1 through 20 on Tuesday. 1 through 16, actually, because there's only 16 words. Everyone good? Okay, so make sure you are ready for tomorrow's quiz. I'm planning on being here, but I just wanted to let you know I might not be here because of Hank. And frankly, it seems like the thing to do. We have 15 teachers out today. Yeah, that's a problem. That is a big, big problem. All right, here we go. It's map day. Isn't that fun? Wasn't the sun shining a little bit brighter today, not in DBQ week?
Yes. And grade was shining.
Yeah, I did put grades in. Did you notice?
Yeah, I had to turn my grades off, so I don't see them now.
Is it that bad?
Huh?
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Well, also friendly reminder, you are responsible for your primary source. So if I'm not here tomorrow, you could work on your primary sources. You are turning those in because you want those extra points. Can we agree? So we can pull up the grades. Here we go. Portugal, Spain, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, United Kingdom, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, Italy, Austria-Hungary, Russia, Romania, Bulgaria. Some of my favorite people are Bulgarians. Black Sea, Turkey, parentheses, Ottoman Empire, or as Izzy referred to correctly, old man of Europe, Greece, Serbia, Montenegro, Albania, are we glad we're doing maps again? Belgium, that's another one. Okay, over here we have Triple Alliance, Triple Entente, Russian Alliance, and then we're going to do out of box, we're going to do join, Triple Alliance. So these are your minor countries. And then we're going to draw another box over here, join, Triple Entente. All right, here we go. Oh, let's do in our title box up here. Isn't that nice? We'll do Europe 1914. What year does World War I break out? 1914. All right, Triple Alliance for me is going to be red. Your trip. What is an alliance? Who can raise their hand and tell me what an alliance is? What do we got? Henry.
When a group of countries agree to help each other.
Yeah, so if one goes to war, they all go to war. So when we're talking about an alliance, it is the requirement. If one goes to war, they all go to war. A triple entente, or entente, means agreement. A triple entente is when people get to choose if they go to war. So the difference between the Triple Alliance and Entente is the choice of whether to declare war or not. That is the difference between the two groups. One of them is going to agree that if one goes, they all go. The other one is going to say, I get a choice if I declare war. But guess what happens? They all declare war because they all just want to kill each other because of all the frustration and pent-up aggression from imperialism and all of the other indirect conflicts that are arising that will cause this, like the Russo-Japanese War and the humiliation that will come from that, as well as the wars in Afghanistan that'll cause a lot of frustration. There we go. All right. So your Triple Alliance is going to be Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, your the Axis powers in World War II are and Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. Italy gets kind of knocked out pretty quick in World War I. They get out about halfway through in World War II. They're just not reliable is what I'm saying. You will notice the teams of World War I and II are the same, but they have different names, and that's important. You cannot say triple entente and refer to World War II. Everything you say is wrong. Everything you say after that is wrong. They will not give you the points. You have to make sure you're referring to the correct teams. Now, the triple entente for me is going to be blue. The triple entente is going to start with the United Kingdom. Keep in mind, an entente means they can choose, and really it's England. England can choose if it wants to come to the aid of the rest of its buddies. England is going to make an entente with France. So keep in mind, France and England have been killing themselves or each other for a very long time, and this is the first time, once industrialization begins, they decide to unify to make a good, solid team. And they terrorize the rest of the world, aka imperialism. And then we have Russia. So the triple entente is England, France, and Russia. These are the 6 major players of World War I. Now, most of World War I is going to take place in what country? No. It mostly takes place in France because that is where the trenches are. The Western Front is what we call it. That's where we have most of the trenches. World War I is super unique. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of the cool things like the dogfights of airplanes and stuff like that. It doesn't have like the huge bombs and stuff. But the hand-to-hand combat of World War I think is just so fascinating. World War I, you're also going to have a large amount of animals. Because keep in mind, only 6 of these countries are industrialized. Nope, actually only 4 of these countries are fully industrialized. So they don't have trains really everywhere yet. They don't have cars everywhere yet. So you are relying on animals. So a lot of horses are in World War I. Which is why there's a terrible movie about World War I called War Horse. What do you got, Henry?
We cover Denmark and
We are. We haven't gone there yet. It's not part of the alliance. Okay. So, alliance with Russia is going to be light green, and that is going to be Montenegro and Serbia. Okay, so here we go. Your triple alliance. These are the people who are going to add to it. It's red, so I will make them orange because they're at least in the same color family. So these are going to join the triple alliance. That is going to be the Ottoman Empire. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how much help is the Ottoman Empire going to be? Why? They're in a serious decline already, and in their decline, they refuse to. Yes, they are literally showing up to a gunfight with a knife. At the end of it, they are going to collapse. The Ottoman Empire officially collapses in 1918, which is the end of World War I. Okay, so that is your Ottoman Empire. You are also going to have Bulgaria is also going to join the Triple Alliance. All right. Now, I'm going to pick dark blue, I hope. Yep. And that is going to be my join the Triple Entente. Okay, so these countries are going to join. Okay, we're going to draw some lines through Italy because what do you think that means? They're going to flip teams. Do you think that's going to make them popular or unpopular? Very unpopular, which is going to lead to a lot of future problems for Italy, including the rise of who will be Mussolini. Okay, Portugal is going to join the Triple Entente. Now, Portugal does not industrialize until the 1940s. So how useful are they? Not much. Romania does not industrialize until the 1970s. How useful are they? Not much, but they are going to send people to the front, which is important. Okay, Serbia, and then Greece is going to join as well. Greece is going to have their own problems. I mean, their economy is still not good. They aren't fully industrialized until the 1990s, so not much help there. Okay, neutral states. These are states that say don't get involved. For the most part, they're going to stay out of it. So, Spain. Should we write neutral? Or should we just do it in green? We'll just do it in green. Okay. All right. So, Norway and Sweden are going to stay neutral until the very end. Sweden will eventually be invaded by Russia. Belgium and the Netherlands. I'm checking something. Yeah, they're going to stay neutral. Spain is going to stay neutral because Spain is about to have a revolution. Okay, and things are not going well in Spain. Remember, their entire economy collapses due to the mercantilism, correct? And they have yet to recover, even though we're almost 200 years beyond it. So, whoops. All right. I will give you about 2 minutes to finish coloring this in. Go.
Is Albania?
Huh?
Is Albania?
Albania, they are going to be Russian. They are going to be on the Triple Entente. There you go. All right, so I'll give you a few minutes to finish coloring in your water, and then we'll flip it over. So, the biggest thing you need to know is that the names for World War I and World War II are very similar. The stories of these countries are very similar in one, as they will be in two. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you do need to keep them separate. Entente is only used in World War I. It is, what are they called in World War II? Axis and Allied powers, absolutely. So, World War II. Now, who is going to come to the Triple Entente's aid? The Americans. The Americans joined the war in 1917. We end it, ladies and gentlemen. We are the reigning world champions of world wars. Every time we step in, we win. Now, if we go into a regular war, we haven't won one in a very long time. But world wars, we crush it. Okay. Some of the biggest battles of World War I is Battle of Verdun, Battle of the Bulge. Nope, Battle of the Bulge is 2. Just kidding. That was fake news. You are going to... They're mostly really not moving that often because they're just fighting on the Western Front. Have you guys seen 1917, the movie? You should see it. It's actually really cool. It's like a video game. It's a continuous shot.
You should watch it tomorrow in class.
No. It's a continuous shot, so the camera never stops, and you feel like you're really following this guy through the whole thing. It's actually like the cinematography is like insane, which is why it won a ton of awards. The movie plot is kind of terrible. But the movie, like, the cinematography is honestly beautiful. Anyone have ever seen it? Did you like it? I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah, it was okay. The way it was shot was
Yeah, it was super cool, but, like, what a lame story.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? We spent 2 hours watching this for this? I hate that. 3, 2, 1, flip it. You excited for the rings?
Learning about the Olympics?
No.
World War Olympics. You still need colors or?
Yeah, you will for the rings. All right, let's fill in our chart. So one of the things that is important for you to know is that in history, if you could go back and live at any time, you would definitely not want to live in Russia. from like 1880s to like 2000. 2000 they've got some chaos too. It's a terrible time, especially if you're a man, because they're going to lose up to like 120 million people. And if you're like, shit, that's a ton of people. It is. It really is. And it has huge implications to the way the rest of Russia looks like today. If you go to Russia, there's almost 3-to-1 ratio of women to men in Russia today, because most of the people dying in these conflicts are men. So we have World War I, which is recruiting men. We have the Russo-Japanese War, which is recruiting men. We're also having the Civil War in 1917 for the Russian Revolution. Then we have the Russian Revolution. Then we have World War II, and Hitler invades and is literally sitting in Russia for about 14 months, just literally shooting and killing everyone because they can't defend themselves. So here we are. Terrible time. And it all starts with internal events. So the Russian Revolution happens to be one of my favorite things because I find it absolutely fascinating. And it is talking about one of the wealthiest empires in the world and how it just falls to chaos. Now, I will say, Tsar Nicholas II is a jerk. All right, internal. Bloody Sunday. And we're almost at the 100-year mark. January 22nd, 1905. Thousands of workers marched peacefully to petition Tsar, C-Z-A-R, or T-Z-A-R, T-S-A-R, it's either or, Nicholas II, for voting rights, better working conditions, and universal suffrage. Tsar, T-S-A-R, I don't know why I switched the spellings, but I did, ordered shooting equals 1,300 dead. That's insane. That's a lot of people. All right. Underneath it, so we have Bloody Sunday. Then we have Revolution of 1905. Strikes. Responding to Bloody Sunday. $4,000 workers refuse to work. What's the matter? What do you need?
4,000 or 400,000?
Oh, I'm sorry, 400,000. Sorry. It's numbers. I don't do numbers. 400,000 workers refuse to work. Tsar tried to appease. Then ordered enforcement, equaling thousands dead. Dead, wounded, or exiled. Exile means you're forced to leave your homes and like leave your country. So things going well in Russia or not well in Russia? Not well. External causes of the Russian Revolution. The first one is the Russo-Japanese War. Both Russia and Japan. Wanted Korea. And Manchuria. Japan wins easily. Why do they win easily? What is unique about Japan at this point? Henry?
They're industrialized.
They're industrialized. So Japan win easily. Embarrassing. Russia. First European country to lose to an Asian country. So, do you think Tsar Nicholas II is going to handle this loss well or poorly? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we have World War I. And how does World War I work for Russia? Terrible. Well, the Russians show up to a gunfight with swords as well. Here we go. So Germany declares war on Russia. Russians quickly realize Russia was unprepared. Poorly trained troops. Poorly armed. And poorly armed, sorry. And poorly armed. Citizens are suffering with extreme food shortages. Ladies and gentlemen, the citizens in Russia are starving to death while their boys are being dropped off at the front line in trains, and they're just getting murdered the moment they step out of the train. How are things going? It is ripe for revolution, which is why in 1917 all the Russian troops put down their swords, because they don't really have that many guns, and they walk back to Russia and start a civil war and overthrow. And who comes in? Huh? Lenin! The Romanovs are executed. They all get shot, all that stuff. We'll talk about that in more detail. But Lenin comes into power and the Bolsheviks come into power. Eventually, we'll be, after he dies, we'll have Joseph Stalin. Right, Taylor? All right, there you go. Now, where I put my names, you need to match my circles, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why they're in the order they are. Italy. Austria-Hungary. Germany. The Ottoman Empire. We have Bulgaria. We have Serbia. We have Russia. We have France. We have Britain. We need 6 boxes. We have the Triple Entente. Triple Alliance. Thank you. Triple Alliance. The Balkans. Aid. Treaty. Alliance. Okay, who can tell me what's the difference between an entente and an alliance? What do we got? Taylor. There you go. All right, so let's add some numbers. So Italy and Germany are going to sign an agreement in 1882. Austria-Hungary and Italy are going to sign an agreement in 1882. Austria-Hungary and Germany are signing an agreement in 1879. So is this war been coming for a long time or a short time? Long time. Feuds have been growing for a long time. So Russia and Britain are going to sign an agreement in 1907. France and Britain are going to sign an agreement in 1904. And Russia and France are going to sign an agreement in 1894. So this war has been coming for a long time, and it will finally explode. All right, here we go. Let's do our triple entente. Okay, so triple entente. Color where I am. Because we're going to color all of these little circles in. All right, so we got Russia is going to be blue because they're part of the triple entente. France is going to be blue. Do not color in where we wrote the numbers, though. And then Britain. Oh, I gotta color in my triple entente. Red is going to be my triple alliance. Your triple alliance is Italy. Germany. Do not get ahead of me, though. And Austria-Hungary. All right, so let's color in our type of alliances. Let's start with aid. Aid means that they are going to do whatever they can, but one of the countries or two of the countries are unindustrialized, so they can't really offer too much. So, Austria-Hungary has promised to come to the aid of Bulgaria. The Russians have offered to come to the aid of Serbia. And the Ottomans have promised to come to the aid of Bulgaria. Okay. I meant to color in the Ottoman Empire its own unique color because they don't officially sign an alliance. They sign an agreement, and that's a whole other thing. So I'm going to color them pink. And then the Balkans, which is on your rubric, I'm going to color them purple. Okay. Then we have an alliance, which means if one goes to war, they all go to war. So Italy says if Austria-Hungary goes to war, they'll go to war. Austria signs an agreement that if Germany goes to war, they'll go to war. And then Italy signs an agreement that if Germany goes to war, it'll go to war. All right. Also, still using the alliance color you chose. France goes to war if Russia goes to war. And Russia goes to war if France goes to war. And then you have the Entente of the Entente. Who gets to choose if they decide to participate? Britain. And that's what makes Britain special. And why is everyone being nice to Britain? Yeah. Well, so other countries are industrialized at this point as well, but who's still the most powerful nation in the world? England. Okay. Oh, I forgot to color in and write in 1914, sorry. The Ottoman Empire signs a alliance with Germany. There you go, guys. I like doing this one. I think this is like a super helpful visual. How much time do we have left? Do you want me to start a lecture?
No.
Well, that was polite of you. Okay, I would take a photo of it and just post it to Canvas and be done with it, yes? Doesn't that make the most sense? So you don't have to think about it ever again?